Here we go. Hey, hi everybody. Hi everyone. Thank you so much. You're already in the chat and posting comments. That's wonderful. I want to welcome JJ to the show and
Hi,
her all
everybody.
her wonderful guides that happen to be all around her. And for those of you who have never seen JJ and her tutor guides, you're in for a treat. It's a wonderful day. So welcome, welcome. And yes, I haven't seen you for a couple months. It was, I think, the last time we did the 5-5, you weren't able to do the 6-6, and
Mhm.
so, but we love the 7-7, 7,
We
7,
do.
7, 7. Yes. So um, we calculated that also that seventh month, seventh day, and if you add 2023, it's a 7. So there you go. Isn't that wonderful? And
Yes.
and that happens to be JJ's favorite number. So there
Mhm. Yeah,
you
I
go.
was telling Aley, that, when you have your birthday, when I was a kid, like, every year I turned, I was just like, "Okay, 5's my favorite number, 6 is my favorite number," but by the time I got to 7, 7 always stuck. I loved the age 7. I was born on the 7th, and then my kiddos were born on the 7th,
Wow.
different months. But then my husband also, his birthday lines up to, if you add it together, it's a 7. So sevens are really, really happy in my life.
Yeah, that's awesome. And you got a long way to go, but wait till you're 77. That will be fabulous.
Ooh, yay.
No rush, but no rush. No rush at all. All right. So let's say hello. We are on my channel at Heart and Soul Connected, and we are simulcasting to Speaks as well. And
Hmm.
so if you're on either channel, welcome. I want you to know that if you are on JJ's channel, that sometimes you won't see the other folks that are over here on this channel. Just that's the way it goes. But you know, you're here, we can see anything you post. So don't worry
Hmm.
about that. All right. So we got Viviani and Juanita. Cheryl Simpson is here, and Lottie and Richie and Spirit Watcher Suzanne, Scorpio Mama, and Emmy J, Linda Thompson. Thank you all for being here this morning. Liz Reeves, Tina McSee, Ziggy B, Teresa Ford. I don't want to miss anybody. Fleck and Sonia. All right. Well, welcome, welcome. I think I got everybody. Welcome to the show. We're happy to have you. We're very happy to have you. Uh,
Hmm.
yes, hello. And Gina M is here as well. And Lisa
Yay.
Keller, Judy Christensen. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. We've got some great energy coming
Yay.
in. So we were just talking, JJ and I had no idea. She grew up in the state next to me. She grew up in Vermont, and I grew up in New
Hmm.
Hampshire, and we're like, wow. And
Hmm.
so we both love, well, I won't say love, maybe we both enjoy somewhat um, tubing, rafting, going down the river. Certainly, JJ's husband loves it. And
Yes.
so she's working really hard in order to
I
do
prefer, to be honest, I prefer to be on the side of the river.
it. You're so adventurous, though. You are.
However, I am there for my family when they want to go in the raft. I need to be there to help them put it in the river. It's very heavy. So, yeah,
You'll be thinking about it when you're older and saying how much fun it
yeah,
really was. But I
yeah.
understand, and I do.
I support their need to be in the river.
Sure, sure,
I
absolutely.
love a good dam. Like as kids, I lived in Bridgewater, so it's like there actually was a bridge like right across from my house on this little road. And the kids would in the neighborhood would just get together and we build this dam, and that's where we would swim. So I
Yeah,
love I love jumping into the swimming hole, but
swimming hole. I
yeah,
know. I
yeah,
don't know. I think we grew up in a really beautiful area. It's a little.
yeah.
Mine is a little commercialized now, where I was. But Suzanne Rich says greetings from a very hot and humid southern Vermont. Yes, yes, yes. So,
Mm-hmm.
but such beauty there, honestly. Hi, Sally. Hi, Patty. Hi, Fiona. Oh my goodness. This is wonderful. So we're going to talk about the 777 energies, and we've got an idea about how we want to do questions today. So let's go ahead and start talking here. So what I found was that it was time to let go of what's not in alignment for us in this portal, and we have to trust the process. We need to break free of relationship cycles and balance more. And this seven symbolizes the mystic, and I heard that 777 is the number of God.
Ooh.
And that just really thrilled me in so many ways. It's like, wow, it's as though we are being given the power, not of God, but as God, the God in us, on this beautiful day. So,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. So it encourages motivation, inspiration, truth seeking, wisdom, and spiritual mastery, and a search for the deeper meaning of all that is. And so water really does seem to symbolize what we're going to talk about today. And I absolutely love that Spirit does that for us. So what would you like to talk about, JJ or
I, I
Tuga?
would I would like to just mention when you were saying that
Mhm.
Spirit showed me okay, so there's this boat, kind of like the fisherman who like throws out the net off from the boat. So he's trying to balance. He's trying to balance on one leg as he throws something. So in the balance and it's like rocking, who knows if there's wind too, and like how there's never a perfect balance. It's always like over here a little, over there a little, and how boring if we
Absolutely.
were perfectly balanced.
Well, and it's the same way I was saying when you're going down the river, because unexpected things show up that you can't even
Yes.
see sometimes. And sometimes you have to make a snap decision to balance the raft.
Mhm.
Everybody go left, because we're going into this tipping place, or everybody
Mhm.
move right, or whatever. And
Mhm.
I absolutely, just love that. And you're right. There is no balance. We have to make it so. So Teresa says, I'm letting go of the harsh energy of judgment. Oh, and replacing it with the gentle spirit of discernment.
Yes.
How beautiful is that? Oh, so it's interesting that you say that, Teresa, because I found out yesterday about Threads. Have you
Mm.
heard of Threads? It is a new Twitter type social media that comes off your Instagram account. So you
Oh,
can go in, and if you have Instagram, and you can tie
yeah.
it in there. So I'm on there, and I think Mark Zuckerberg did it, and I love it because Elon Musk thinks it stinks and everything. He's just jealous. But a lot of people that were there moved over from Twitter. I don't know if they got rid of their Twitter accounts, but they keep saying, no one's as judgmental here. People are nicer. This is a brand new community. We can make it better. We can do that job together. So initially it's very, very, it's very nice. It's
Yeah.
even when you're reading the news that's on there, there's no divisiveness yet anyway.
Yeah.
So I would love to
It,
think,
and you were saying that's from Instagram, you
yes,
said? Yeah, that
yes,
makes sense because Instagram is it's mostly, posting the pictures and this and
picture.
that. And yeah, it's more gentle than, kind of like the
Yes,
anonymous Facebook stuff or like
right.
yeah, and yeah, I have to be in the right place to go on Twitter. Um,
I got once Elon took over, I was
yeah,
gone. I
yeah.
wasn't that active, but I love Instagram. I absolutely love it. I don't know. It just really always resonated with me.
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
yeah. Wow. So yes, so we've got kindness coming through. Viviani's going to write a list of everything she chooses to let go tonight. That's perfect. That's part of it, my dear.
Oh, that's great.
Um, it is. It says to well, let's see. Take time for you, even a half an hour, to journal, to exercise, to meditate, to walk in nature, book a treatment, maybe get your toes painted, I don't know. Whatever that relaxes you, and allow yourself to connect into the energies within and around you. These energies are a prominent push for us to regenerate, rebirth, and redirect our energy so we can stand in our power and realize how magical that we are.
Some of like the So I see a lot of new names. So what Tuta speaks for me is my team, this group that come through and help me, and they came. This whole language emerged from me when I was in Sedona. I was doing a lot of spiritual work the years building up to this, and this had something to do with my heart space. I was like in an ER, figuring out why I was having a hard time breathing, this and that. And I found out I have this heart thing coming. So then I go to Sedona, and I have to make amends in the past life, or the energy of a past life. It may not have been mine, of something that happened at the Trail of Tears. And I got goosebumps again. And they, I just saw like this Native American female just down on her knees keening about what she lost, the part she played in it. There was just all this emotion. And so when I let that go, which is the theme of today, is this whole language instantly came to me while I was on this table, and the energy worker was working on me. My husband, I don't think it would have come through if my husband hadn't been there. And these retreats were not his wheelhouse type thing. And so
right. Yeah.
It actually happened on, like, the date was really special for us. And the theme of the retreat was special. So everything kind of lined up perfectly. And this language came through. So the language sounds Native American. Sometimes it sounds Asian. Sometimes words have been translated just from people like in the community or these healing circles that I used to be in. It's Hebrew, like Polynesian. Like they heard sentences, words, and I don't speak those languages. So, and then you'll see my eyes do some weird things. That's just how it comes through for me. But I forgot where I was going with that. But yeah, the meditation.
No, you got new things coming in, you said.
Yeah, no, my favorite meditations, we're talking about like letting it go and things that emerge. And I think that's really great for July. Like the things that are going to emerge. Like we were talking about the river and how you can see above the river, but below the river, there's just things that are submerged. And a lot of times you don't see those coming until your tube or you're
on top of them. Yeah.
Right. Because you don't have the bird's eye view, you've got the one. And we were talking about how that coincides with life, like this current and this flow. I mean, there's free will, but then there's just sometimes like energetically where everything's just going kind of fast.
Sure.
And so
we get caught up in it, and we have no, no way of discerning what comes around the next corner, really. We just have to be prepared. So a lot of it is also about paying attention, wouldn't you say? Because we can't see what's below. So we need to pay attention to those things that are above. Did any new guides come through in the Tuta group? Maybe Pleiadians? Because I'm hearing about Pleiadians coming in.
I definitely got goosebumps with that.
Okay.
Yeah, with my people, like for instance, I did this when I was in Reiki, my Reiki courses with my teachers. They did this meditation of when to meet your, like how to meet your guides. And so my guides showed up as there was like dirt, and all I saw was like their calves down. And so I don't like see who they really are. As far as like putting a name on them, they definitely said tutas and teachers. And I know that there is some come in. You'll hear my language change for different people. Like I'll have these personal, like custom journeys and sessions with clients, and there are just some that sound so different, almost like a French kind of like, and I just have to like step to the side because it'll be new. So, but I did get the goosebumps with the Pleiadians.
The only reason I ask is because something else that I read said that they are here to help us, and people are beginning to see their help through different avenues of, but that's cool. So you get the Pepe Le Pew guide in there somewhere, huh?
Yeah. Pepe Le Pew always reminds me, is Ron here? Ron from Unconditional Love. He always,
I always say it to him too. Yes, absolutely. Oh gosh. So the significance again is spiritual meaning. A divine guidance number is 7, a number of God. So it's a best period for us to connect with the universe. So what we thought we would do today is I'm going to put the banner up here, is what is Spirit asking you to look underneath for, or where the flow of life is taking you, or you're in the current. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so if you'd like to have a reading, that's kind of where we're going today, only because the waters seem to be the biggest topic, and that's what Spirit wanted us to talk about today. And what
they're so excited talking about water and being submerged. It's like I can feel it. It's how are you guys feeling about this topic? I have goosebumps.
Yep. I think that this is well, it isn't shadow. It's just what lies underneath, and it could be anything really. And and of course the water is so cleansing. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Oh, this is a great ask. Liz Reeves, do you ever re-listen to what you've said to understand everything, or do you automatically know?
So sometimes when I'm speaking, I'll get a lot of pictures, images, and then I'll be able to say it in English. And then there are other times when my people want to speak specifically to like your soul family, your inner seed, where you came from. And I just trust that when that happens, it's never not worked. So it's usually just kind of like I don't know if it's a soul to soul kind of thing, telepathic thing, but yeah. And I re-listen to my things all the time. And I'll get different things if I'm listening to it, like what I need to hear from it a different time. So I don't get the same thing every time I go there. But but
you may get a different message, is what you're saying, when you listen. And okay.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right. So we've got a lot of people that want a reading. So let's see. First of all, though, I want to say this is Catherine from Ireland. I had spinal surgery, need to find a new job that's less physical. I find this difficult as I invested so much time and money in my previous career. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you can do a healing for her or ask the guides to send something to her. Okay.
You know what I love about the spine is I love to think of the spine as like the antenna. And so in shamanism, we talk about our hollow bone, the thing that connects us to spirit. And we're just like these vessels and this hollow bone. And then hollow bone also reminds me of like how birds receive information. I don't know. They're just telling me that right now, like there's some sort of vibration that happens in like a hollow bone. And so that's what I think of the spine. I think of it as like DNA. I think of it as, messages from spirit. I feel like it holds a lot of information when we're born. Let's see what we can come up with. Yeah. Anuna nashti totana bakianama ishema yewa tana titana shtita yetana kitana shtita yeta mawa washtana yema yevatana tana shtita. They're talking about the scattered feeling of when there is this like the noise of pain. Okay, and then they're showing me horses with the reins, and they're showing that obviously it doesn't feel good for the bit to be in the horse's mouth, and sometimes the horse just really doesn't want to go like where they're being guided. It goes like almost against like everything, like you said, like you made plans for this. The plans for your life. And then they're showing me the horse going through the water horse doesn't know how deep it is, how, and they're bringing me to the past with the pioneers, where it's just like, this is a river that you haven't studied before, you don't know its normal pattern. You don't know the factors of like the snow melt, this or that. And that's kind of what they're showing me, this life decision, the way your river is flowing right now. There's a lot of unpredictable things. And with the spine, they're just saying that there's all of this, instead of it being like the hollow bone, you have all of this chatter, like the pain chatter, and then you've got your mind being like, what do we do? And they're bringing in the 4th of July. I know you're in Ireland, but they're showing me like if you were holding like this wand, it had like all of this, what's that stuff called? It's just like that shiny tinsel that you would put on a tree. I'm not sure what you call that in other places, but it's like this shiny, it's different colors. It's like picking up reflections from all over. And they said how distracting and noisy that must be concerning the spine. So what they want to do, they want to bring in those wisps, and they want to like bring it a little back up. So you're in this construction zone right now, and your people are coming in, all of your helpers. We just invite everybody's helpers to come in for today to assist, to witness. And so they're bringing it in, and they're putting up some caution tape. We've got people in there that are like, they're really going for it, and they really want to help you with this. And they're like, let's just put this one over here. And somebody's like, well, maybe if we braided those little loose pieces, and they're having this whole conversation. There's some arguments going on. And there's like a silliness, but also the seriousness as well. They're bringing in that movie Cars, pit crew, and how you have like the serious ones, the funny ones. Oh, and then they're bringing up how like during a storm, if like the storm is coming, they would prepare like the trees in the yard. They would bound it up like before winter if they knew that there was a lot of things happening. Like winter was going to come, the snow plows were going to come, and they would just protect that tree. So just know that what they're doing right now is just the temporary. And they're talking about the different levels of peace. And they're saying, come on, let's bring in the peace. And let's, one of my favorite things is when you go underneath the water, they're like, just imagine you're halfway under the water. So your ears can hear above and below, and like how distracting that is. But if you go all the way under the water with your ears and you close your eyes, and you would think that it would be quiet, but it's not completely quiet. You can hear the rocks bumping into other rocks. Sometimes, if you're lucky, you can hear the fish doing what they do with rocks. But it feels so much more peaceful when there's too much chatter in one spot. So find the place where you can go, where you actually, it's muted, dulled a little bit. And I know with back pain, I know with like the chronic pain, that the volume of it is too much. So is there a special place, CL, that you can go to, either in your mind, or it's like when you put on those silencing headphones and it feels so good. Yeah. And you didn't know. Like I'll go to Walmart now, and I don't care how ridiculous I look, I'll put my silencing headphones on, and it's a completely different experience.
I love that idea. Oh my God. If you could put rose-colored glasses on as well, that would be nice.
Yes. Mhm.
Wow. So that was beautiful. She put up that she had a cage inserted, and I think you may have mentioned something that probably
Yeah, the
reminded that.
construction, yeah.
Yeah.
The rebar.
Yeah. So
Mhm.
I got the card discernment, awaken to your internal guidance and trust what feels right for you, CL. And so, yes, you want to stop working a more physical job. And so you are discerning, and you've probably been told, and you've made that other calculation that you work too hard and you hurt yourself. And
Mhm.
it's time for you to take care of yourself. So if you can do something, maybe even from home, online or on the phone or something, I wish you well. I know you're limited with what you can do, but let's put it out there. This is a good time for manifesting. It really is. So think about
Yeah,
it. Yeah.
yeah, and with the horse, and the bit,
Yeah.
I never get horses and bits, so I'm not sure how that works for you, but,
Yeah. Mhm.
um, but, you know, just knowing that life is kind of, like, guiding you away from what you know, that's scary, so, yeah,
Yeah.
taking care of yourself is really important.
Yeah. Take care, Seal. Thank you, dear. All
Yeah.
right. So I have to tell you, folks, that I have all you clicked here for questions. I did close the questions a while ago. I know that we probably won't be able to do all these questions, just so you know. We'll try, but it's a lot. I have
Yeah.
14, and I just
Yeah,
know that
I'll say though that, even the one that just happened, I do feel it's something that everybody can do.
that's
So
correct.
these nature readings are really a collective type thing, so
They are, and they build on each other. So if we can't particularly answer, a question for you, listen to all of it, because there are gems inserted in here for everybody. So
perfect.
that was beautiful. All right,
Yeah.
so we have Juanita
Mhm.
is interested in a underneath underneath the water.
They're instantly showing me, so I love watching, like, old westerns and whatnot, or even, like, the newer action things. Being underwater, it's like the things that are being I see, like, the bullets, the arrows,
Oh wow!
it's like when you're underwater, you're protected some because everything is askew, like, you
Uh
can,
huh.
like, aim your, like, weapon of choice into the water, but it's not going to hit its mark. And they're telling me that because what I'm sensing anyways is that there might be some people in your life that are trying to hit the mark. They're trying to, like, I don't know, wound you in a way, or, like, I just see it as like darts, bullets, that sort of thing. And using that essence of water, it's not going to hit its mark, is what I'm getting.
Okay. All right. And I pulled, oh my God, I shuffled and I still pulled discernment. And you know what I really love about this is behind this is water. Behind this message here is water. And
Yeah.
so they're taking, maybe it's for everybody. We need to be discerning. We need to awaken to our spiritual guidance, but also to know that there are times when we're being led to do something that seems perhaps not what we would normally do, but maybe that's where the growth is the best. So
Yeah.
yeah.
I
All
love the
right.
idea of just knowing that you're protected. Like,
Absolutely. Yep.
again, it's one of those things, like, find this place where you can submerge yourself because it almost seems like it's going to keep coming.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Go
Yep.
under the water.
Go into the water.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like you would in an action movie if someone was chasing
Yes.
you.
You're running zigzag.
That's right. That's right. All right. So Sonia Pinola is interested in one for herself.
Okay. Okay, they're instantly bringing me to the heart space. So let's see what's right underneath the water for the heart space. And there are things that, so when you're looking at the river, ooh, I'm all dizzy. Yeah, they're bringing in the dizzy feeling. Um,
Oh,
but but they're also showing me. Aley was talking about this too, like how sometimes in the water, the things that are right underneath, they'll pop up occasionally. Like the branches.
Yes.
They'll be like, I'm coming up, I'm going down. I'm coming up, I'm going down. It's like a little flag, letting you know that there might be something bigger happening underneath the water. Yeah, definitely the heart space, feeling dizzy. Pama tui tama kui titana mashte tana yewa. Yena tana ka ishte tana yewa. They're bringing in that sacred heart feeling, but also the wounded, like the wounded healer. I'm seeing 3 wounds, and if I'm thinking about the heart, it's almost like there were 3 wounds. And this is something I was trying to explain, but I lost my train of thought before, is let's just say if we have these 3 wounds on our heart, and they're like, it's as if somebody put the arrow in and like went down, like they're definitely these vertical wounds. So one thing that we can say is, one of my favorite sayings, Richie knows it, is I forgive, the forgiveness from the beginning of our time to right now. So it would be really interesting if we could say, I forgive anyone from the beginning of my time to right now who has hurt me or wounded me, whether they were aware or unaware of their actions from the beginning of my time to right now. I forgive anyone from the beginning of my time to right now if they were aware or either unaware of the pain or wounds they were causing me. And I forgive. I forgive anyone from the beginning of my time to right now if they were unaware or aware of their actions that caused harm. Panuina, panuina, panuina. And I see those wounds and the frequency of the wounds start to chit-chat with each other, almost starting the healing process. And then on the other side of that, just for the balance, we can also say, I forgive myself if I have harmed anyone, knowingly or unknowingly, from the beginning of my time to right now. I forgive myself if I have harmed someone, caused a wound, if I'm aware of that or unaware of that from the beginning of my time to right now. And sending that frequency of healing, sending those things down the basket, like the baby in the basket down the river. Forgiving myself. If I've hurt anybody aware or unaware from the beginning of my time to right now. And that is such a perfect thing. Yeah.
Everyone's talking about their heart hurting, but to me, it's a hurt, but it's just to remind us that it's opening and it's taking that away, that pain away. Yeah. Wow, that was beautiful. Sonia, I pulled a card that says underneath you are a teacher. You are a mentor, a wise educator. You have divine guidance, and you can access your higher self. So don't doubt it. Don't doubt it. Doesn't mean you have to have a show. It doesn't mean you have to, but you can just be that empath, that light worker that works with those things because you have the gift.
Yeah, and a really good thing to remember, I learned this from the Empath Academy with Dr. Michael Smith. Okay. He said that it's okay to not know. Like just even with that saying, with the message that you had, it's like we may not know everything about everything, and that's okay.
Yeah.
Like, why is this person mad at me? I don't know. and I don't need to know.
And maybe they don't know either.
Yeah.
It's their problem and not yours. We don't need to take it
Yeah.
on. Beautiful. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. All right. So I have Tina McSee. I would like that too. All right.
So I love how fast these are coming today.
Yeah. Yeah.
So Tina, they're showing me right here, this area of you physically, and they're bringing in, and I love that it's not exactly a river. They're showing me pau itama pa kotano shtita, something that's like different than a river, that's patut elevated more than the river, almost like when the temperature changes and there's like mist right above the water in the mornings. Atu tanu 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 tanu. It's in this. I just love that. The essence of that patu tanu mash tatu kayewa, because it sometimes it's more solid, and then sometimes like clouds, like you can see through it. Kitana eshte tanu ewa. It's like most perfect place of like this light that comes in, and it's not like a direct light. It's almost as if the light comes in and opens up all of these different particles in this mist, this beautiful area. And they're saying, don't forget about the mist and the fog. You're talking about the water, but this is a different form of it, where let's say you're like, for instance, if you're driving down the road on a foggy day, your lights can only see so far, and if you dim your light a little bit, with the fog lights, you can see even more. But you still don't know. You still don't know what's ahead of you.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes you just can't pull off to the side, and wait for this fog, this mist. You still need to have faith and go forward. And you get to decide, like, how fast or how slow you get to go. They're definitely bringing in the turtle energy. So the discernment, that being slow, but still going forward, like not pulling off the side. And they say the gifts will emerge. So I'm not sure, Tina, if you are looking for, I'm getting that more in the spiritual way, if you're waiting for some spiritual gifts to emerge.
Wow. So it's interesting what I got then, if that's the case, because this is something that we all have to do, and it's a work in progress for everybody all the time, and it's dropping your ego. And so it says here, false perceptions, dependency, and materialistically driven or fear can hold you back. So if you could release that, and of course we have to live in a 3D world, I understand. And it's just that if we say to ourselves, we couldn't do that, then we're not that good, or that person's better than me, or whatever, you're operating from the ego in that case. And so let it go, because you're waiting to flow. That's beautiful.
Spirit is like, I'm like, what was that word she was just saying? And it's just like, they won't let me see anything or hear anything. They're like, discernment.
Yes, and that word has come up several times today. I love that when that happens. So yeah. All right. So I want to make sure that I get someone that actually posted over from your channel was Mimi Eichholz. Would love a reading from Spirit. She's feeling a near future shift with the nodal shift on the 17th.
I don't know what a nodal shift, nodal,
but
it's goosebumps.
Yeah, it has to do with astrology, I think. The nodes. Yeah.
I know that nodes had come up, and somebody, it was like the North Node. And I learned a little bit about it from then, because I didn't know what that was. Let's see.
Yeah.
And it has a 7 in it, the 17th. Okay. So they're showing me more of the shadow work than, so the mist was all lit up. So they were showing me that it moves down into the right around the belly button area, and it has more to do with like the shadow work, and more of I really like I really like shadow work. And I really like, it's almost like digging a hole, and seeing the things that are down there, like, is there an
Yeah.
old penny? Is there, what's underneath that soil? It's like going in that direction, like discovery, but discovery like a miner would do it, in a darker cave. But the feeling of the soil when I'm thinking about the excavation,
Mhm.
is that the soil, even though there's like pebbles and stuff in it, it's not like you're going to hit a big rock. They're showing me that it has moisture in it, so it's like perfect for digging. So it's almost as if the things are lining up for you for
Mm.
discovery. And they said, don't be surprised if when you're digging that you hit, or connect with, and they're showing me like the water, like, and the water spouts up. It's almost as if like,
Cool.
keep digging around, and then there could be a lot of like if you're getting downloads,
Mhm.
you're like, ooh, I'm in it.
Uh-huh. You just made me feel a lot better about what's underneath my property because you can't dig maybe more than that and you hit ledge. And so
Yes. Yeah.
my feeling now is a little different because I'm looking at it like, wow, I'm surrounded by all this beautiful rock energy.
Oh,
And
yeah.
so, yeah, I'm going to go spend some time back out there again and think about it that
Yes.
way. So that's
Unless
wonderful.
you have to dig a hole.
Unless
Digging
you have to
holes are
dig a hole. Yeah.
digging
Then I
holes are
get my
really hard.
husband. He has to.
But not for you, Mimi. I saw it was rich, but it happens during the night because I
Okay.
see it's dark outside, but then the soil is just so dark and rich and perfect for digging.
Very cool. Very
Yeah.
cool. So I have purposeful action, interestingly enough,
Mhm.
assertive, focused direction, and overcoming obstacles. Look at that. And
Yeah.
that beautiful tree
Beautiful.
energy. Yeah. So yes, digging is a purposeful action. There is something underneath that you're wanting to.
It's
Um,
the Beverly Hillbillies is what you're thinking of,
oh
where they
yeah, the
skip
Beverly
around.
Hillbillies. Yep. Yep. And Cheryl Simpson, the things that's called divining rods. That's what
Yes.
that is. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I would love to be able to like
Dousing. Yeah, dousing. Yeah.
jousting. I just don't know
Yeah.
if I have like attention deficit disorder, so I'm not sure
No,
if
I
that
think you would love it. I think it would,
I think I would
Grandma
forget what I was doing, like, "Oh my god, a butterfly."
Aunt Wilma Claudia does it, and she does it with discerning answers. It isn't just about water. You can use it
Cool.
as for answers. Yes.
Uh-huh.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. She says thank you so much,
Yeah.
and Kelly and Mimi. Thank you. All right. So let's see. You're welcome. Let's see what else we got here. Um, all right. We got Lisa Keller. I would like a reading, please.
Okay, so you know how a feather floats down. Pawina, pawina, titanush so peaceful, pamawai, but it doesn't fall directly down. It does this beautiful dance. Titanuish, titanui, kayewa. They're talking about this. First of all, they gave me like angel wing, and they're still showing me these angel wings.
Mm-hmm.
The angel feeling. Ko toa shte ma kuita no ka umpai umai wa no e wa. And they're saying it's not these angel wings. Pa wa pa kwa she ma kutana oshta taye wa. They're saying if this was something that you put on and then you take off, ashtatano kayewa, they're bringing in this harness. And it's almost like when you're doing like a cosplay or reenactment or whatnot. It's like this halter, but it gives you support. It's not just something like a little kid's Halloween type or just when they're playing, fairy or whatever. It's made out of leather. It's specifically made for you. It has like the eyelets that the threading occurs and the pulling of to tighten it up. Almost as if you're like one of the angels that go in for like battle because it's leather, so it protects you from things that are coming at you. And like that feather energy, I almost see it as how like spirit might talk to you, or it's more than spirit. Something of the unknown to me, but you know about. Like if this was spirit, this is the people or the essence that helps you. But they're bringing that in because it helps support what it is that you're doing in the angelic field, the battlefield. Battles are not always there's a perception of what a battle is. There can be many, many different meanings. And they're bringing in this circle, this ring that almost looks like it's a dream catcher type thing, but it's a tool that is used for something else than dream catching. It's almost as if it's this trap. Like a frequency, like if you were singing, and if you were doing shadow work, it's almost as if the things that need to be caught in this trap are caught. So what a beautiful I hope that makes sense to you, Lisa. Sometimes really... with the shamanic things, there's more questions than
I
answers.
Understand. Well, I decided to pull an angel card, angel message card, just because you saw the angel wings. And so I thought that was appropriate. So it says to think globally, spread your wings, feel the world within your heart. It is your home. Embrace it and engage with it and surround it with love. Expand your vision. And so it will be. So yes, I don't think a lot of people really tend to think globally. We tend to think more, we're in our little space. And if we all just took a second and thought, or not even, some time and thought globally, we just get along so much better with other people.
Yeah. And that's actually, when you were talking about how many people for Linda G's Sedona retreat,
yes.
I think gathering would be the better term.
Right.
If you have that many people, and it doesn't even have to be like a special vortexy area. I feel like if you have the right people, you bring your own vortex.
You do.
But but it is one of those collective things where it's so helpful.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Raising vibrations or whatever it is that we do in those certain instances.
Lisa says, no, can you have them explain more, please? I tell you, Lisa, you can contact JJ and she'll do a personal reading for you. It's all her information is there. Think about it a little bit.
I will say like that there is the protection of the leather vest harness. There's some protection for what it is that you're doing. Just so it's almost like how I felt going into the ocean. I get really scared because I'm not the top of the food chain. And so if I was wearing the suit to protect me from the cold and whatnot, I also felt like it protected me I just felt like more protected and safe going and more comfortable going forward with what I was doing. My intention was in the ocean.
Sure.
So I don't know if I'm feeling that might line up with what's going on in your life. Like they're just bringing in this protection. And it could just be like that angel
protection. Yeah. Sometimes if you go back and re-listen later, you'll see maybe some symbolic things, and certainly angel wings are symbolic, and the leather is has a protective quality. So thank you so much. All right. So Ziggy B would like a reading.
So talking about how things are just right underneath what we see, they're bringing in like the archaeologists, and it's like they brought me right here. I had some pressure. And so they're just bringing in, and there's like this desert sand, things that would have over time the wind would have brought in this covering, like this natural covering of all these grains of sand. So they're slowly using, like, I don't know if they're actually using the wind. There's something about the energy essence of the wind. But they're bringing it in and they're unearthing something right here in your third eye. And it's almost as if once they uncover this, it'll be like a super bright, almost has a solar feel. How it's just like once it's unearthed, it's almost like the connection to whatever it's connecting to or whatever its purpose is going to burn so brightly that you know, like in your life, how you're just like, okay, this person doesn't support me, so I'm going to cut that cord or that thought, and I'm going to cut that cord. It's just like once the light is shown, this orange, beautiful light, it burns everything away that does not align with your path.
Well, I pulled up the veil. This came up the other day when I was doing a reading with the Sisters of the Mystical Tarot, and I just feel like the veil is being uncovered. We're being able to see what's behind it, which is another. It isn't the water, but it's another thing that's there that we need to uncover, or we can't always see. So be aware of your realm of perception. It says it's a facade for us to think that there isn't something right here. There just isn't. You know, we have to know that everything is with us, including our ancestors, and that we have the access to the veil, to go behind the veil. So beautiful. Thank you, Ziggy. All right, let's see. We have Michelle Williams. Oh, hi, Heather. It's good to see you, dear.
Again, they're showing me that the stick or the branch in the river that's popping up now and then, kind of like alert, alert, you know, there could be something bigger here. They're showing that to me again. Almost, they're showing me like there's a flag on it, you know, like, hello, you know, when you're going down the river, just want to let you know that there's something over here. So let's think about what the something is. And now they're showing me something that's been submerged for a while. This could be like ancestral type stuff or something that's been lasting for a really long time. And I'm looking under the water at this, the tree. It could be like even a tree limb, but they're showing me that the bark has been submerged for a while. It's got all of that silt. And like the silt has a story, the tree has a story, everything has this story. But they want you to look at, instead of just focusing on like A, B, and C, they want you to like look at how there's that warning that you can see above the water, but when you go below, there's a way to go under. And it's kind of that lovely murky water that you would see in a lake. And they say this thing that has fallen down has also given protection. Just think about like all of the things that would benefit from this thing being in the water. So there was some benefit. So there's some benefit to whatever was this thing is. Protection, hiding. But they also say, what if, you know, we go under the water and we prop this back where the sun can touch it, like the transparency, like being shown. How would that feel? from that murky water for so long, how would that feel if it was propped back up? Hatotano, and that would also benefit things as well, because then there's like lots of little like treats and snacks, for like the birds. They're just, I guess the theme of that whole thing is, yeah, it's helping being down and submerged, but there's also bringing it into the light. There's also benefits there as well.
Wow.
Yeah.
Beautiful. So, Michelle, I pulled the wheel and it says a change in circumstances and a new cycle. So once you clear out what you need to clear out underneath, you got a new cycle. That's right. How beautiful. Beautiful. I'm sorry, everybody who's come in a little bit late. We are not even sure we can do all of our readings that we have bookmarked, but we appreciate having you here. And JJ said that, and I agree, just listening to the light language is so soothing to me. And so your message can come to you through that if you allow it. So, all right. So Spirit Watcher Suzanne.
They're reminding me when I was a little girl. So my parents, and Suzanne's from Vermont. And so in Killington, my grandparents had this country store called Jim and Zell's. And it was this great little like gas station, country, like homemade goods and whatnot. So anyway, so when I was a little girl, the tourists would come in, and there was this family that owned a house down the road, and they said, "We have a little girl. Can your little girl come play with my little girl?" And usually I'm like, I am by myself. I'd rather read a book by a river. Yeah. And so I went there, and I think about this little girl all the time. I don't know who she is. My parents don't even know their names, but we played this great game where we went down to like this. It's not even a river. It was more of like a trickle, but enough water. We would go over there. So this playful inner child feeling is coming through for you. And we would pretend that we lived by this river. She had all these cool, like, little dishes that somebody would have like a tea party or something with. We would go to this river, and we would take the wet soil from the riverside or in the river, and we would wash the dishes. And I was just like, what a cool to have this random person come into my life. And I think about it all the time, how fun it was to go to nature with an inner child feeling, and just even connect with how people in the past did. Like when I'm camping on the river, my husband and I would do this 10-day on the river camping thing. And that's what we would do. If something was super stuck, we would take the wet soil and do that. So I'm getting definitely inner child playfulness. So what can you do to make that inner child happy?
Oh, that's awesome. Well, it's quite possible, Suzanne, that you're going to be going out, in the sunshine, the most beautiful card in the deck. And look at, you've got your own beautiful avatar there, but it says abundance, joy, warmth, positive energy, and light filled. So when I see something like this, I just love to feel the sun on my face and the wind, if there's a little bit of wind, or even the sea spray or the water spraying. So there you go, sweetie. Yeah. Very good. All right. Yeah, Miss Viviani.
I will, just a little disclaimer too. I'm not sure if this happens with you too, Aley, like especially when I'm so tapped in with these fast messages that even though they're super amazing, I'm probably not going to remember it. So if you do come for a personal reading, you'll have to remind me. And then by that time, the personal reading will probably be something different. So I just that's just a disclaimer.
Yeah. And most psychics, that's the truth. They don't remember what they've said. Yeah.
Okay. Love it. Pama tuta ma yewa koi shema yewa ma yena papa we tanuma ma kyo cinema okama ishewa Yena tama pakiot sishiwa. They're showing me a mix of things, Viviani. They're showing me like this flow. And again, this isn't like mist. It's not the water. This, for some reason, is like when you light an incense or sage, you're doing some sort of smudging. It's like the smoke, slowly going in one direction, which is really interesting because usually when I'm doing things, it goes all over the place. But yours is going in the right direction, and then I'm not even kidding you. They're bringing this thing on the outside of it. And you know, like how the women will have, I think they're called mufflers or something, where they would put their hands when it was
Yes.
cold.
When it
Yeah.
was cold. Yep.
Yeah. But they're showing me this, it's almost as if it's spun wool.
Mm.
And so it's like this smoke has its pattern and it's going through wool. They're like, hello, it's right out there. Obviously. Hello, smoke wool. Like, we're putting it on a platter for you.
Oh, wow.
The most confusing message I've ever gotten. So, ma, yeah. Patutoma o patota ishtawa kwai mama shema kiata yawa they're being very like old lady, like patuta yema. What do we need to do? Do we need to spell this out for you? We put it on a platter. Kitoma shema kitoma so many plates. And they're like, the one thing that they are saying is they have all of these plates, like when you go to like an Italian meal or like the Mexican meal, it's like all of these plates are placed in front of you with love. But just like the grandmas, it's just like, oh, you're not going to taste this one? What's wrong with that?
What's wrong?
The love comes with some sort of like offense. I'm offended.
I'm offended because you haven't touched my casserole. That's right. What's wrong with you? Yeah.
Good luck with that message. Viviani.
Listen to your intuition, Viviani. That's what those old ladies are saying to you.
That was the most confusing ever.
Yeah, that's awesome, honestly. All right, so we're at the top of the hour, JJ. We got 3 more. I don't know. I have to be on another show at 12:30, but I think we can get these done. But if you're tired,
this is fun. Go for it.
All right. Thank you. All right. So Emmy J, Mary Ellen would love a message.
Okay. Okay, so you know when you're swinging, you're on a swing and you're up here and you're just like, my belly's going to drop. But I know that it's fun, I think. Actually, this reminds me of how I am on the river. This is fun, right? I think. So they're showing me this this energy that comes in like this, and then it drops down, and then it comes back up again. So there's like this excitement. And so the theme of today was, about what's right below the water in our lives. So it's like, I'm seeing this, it's still underwater, but then it goes for like the deep dive and then continues. And that symbol also, I think if you look it up, it might be the Omega symbol. There's something about the symbol of something that goes like this, drops down and goes that. It might be the Omega. I can't remember. And they're like, so the energy of something going in one direction, dropping down and going like that, they're like, what if it was, and they're bringing in the ant spirit animal type thing where it's just like, they're showing me it as little lights. So one of it goes like this way, but it's also going this way at the same time. So it's just like these passing little lights. Like the ants when they go through their tunnels and whatnot. There's room for more than one thing for discovery. It's almost as if, so imagine like you're a tree and you have all of this information and nutrients in your roots, but it's like the top part is also doing really good work. So I think what they're saying here is it's not just one area where the good work is going, it's another area as well. Because if you think about it, the trees have, the leaves have their own job. And the branches, they have their job with the birds and the nests and whatnot. And then down below, you've got like the creepy crawlers, you've got the rocks where the roots grow around. There's like so much going. Don't forget about like there's a whole story that you may know or may not know. They just want to let you know that.
Oh. So I've got creation for you, Mary Ellen, and how beautiful. And look at the waves of creation, inspiration, imagination, and process, ethereal and physical integration. So you're at the point where you're going to be able to bring both sides together for the balance that you need. How beautiful is that? That's wonderful. All right. Those of you, I did explain, I know not everybody was here the whole time, that we only could take a certain number of questions. We're already at over an hour, so I'm sorry if we can't read all of you. But JJ does do private readings, and she'll be back on 8/8 because we're doing the double numbers. So
yeah. And you were saying too, Aley, you're coming up again live today.
I am with the storytelling cards. Yes.
Yes. So for like extra support, you might, even if you aren't chosen for a reading, you might get another
you might get another one. Sure.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, they're talking about the rest. It's almost as if, so that omega symbol, or if I'm wrong, whatever that symbol is, it's coming through again. It's right underneath the water. But what they're showing me is this beautiful nature seat in the water, as if you can rest. You can rest there. So they're showing me that you're sitting almost as if this was made for you out of the roots of the tree. Beautiful place to sit and just let the river flow around you. What a beautiful place to like meditate or be alone. Just being in this gentle, the water, the flow, everything is gentle. The temperature is gentle, just enough so you notice it. Wow, what a beautiful thing. And they're saying that sitting in this, if this is a place where you go to meditate or communicate with spirit or other things, it's almost as if eventually, instead of the things flowing around you, they're showing me these little fish. It's almost as if you become the water and the fish can go right through you. So it's almost as if you don't become something that goes like around you as if you were a barrier. You become like a part of it, immersed into it, and they can go. It's not even like anything gets stuck, as if you were a branch. I'm seeing nothing being stuck. Like you're sitting on something that's supporting you that's stuck. It has nothing to do with you, and you're relaxing there. And then when you become like fully with it, again, not a barrier, nothing's getting stuck. It's almost when they teach you how to be like an empath, don't take on other people's stuff. But it's such a beautiful metaphor of how to become with something and just let it flow through you.
Beautiful, beautiful. She says it sounds like her water location. So that's wonderful. I love this. Thank you, Diana. I want to bring that up because what you're seeing is an inverted omega. Because the omega goes like this, but you're seeing it inverted. But and also it's Libra, because Libra has that and the line under it. But you're showing it as a reflection on the water. That's what Diana says. See?
Libras, you guys, so important. Yeah, in my life, you're kind of annoying. You're like, I am super focused. And I'm like,
and that's me too. I'm a Libra, so I'm a Libra, and I got to figure everything out.
And I need you. I need my Libras, but my mom's a Libra, my husband's a Libra.
All right. So I get, Sally, I get possibilities. Opportunity, be open to solution beyond your expectation. So just remember that what's ever uncovered or under the water, you just don't even know what's under there yet. There might be, what runs deep is there for you. Oh, Annie Bear, you are
Yep.
too.
That
Okay.
makes sense. That makes sense.
Okay.
Yep. I love
Awesome.
my Annie Bear. And Annie Bear was saying before that 7F is 7 feathers.
Ah.
Yeah. So she has got
Okay.
the 7 vibe.
All right.
Janet.
So we have Janet Warnell, and thank you for your donation, Janet. And we'll do the last reading for you today.
Okay. I'm reading what people are writing on the side. Okay.
Oh, Rossi too. Yeah.
So they're bringing in the wool again. This time it's a wool blanket. And they're talking about wool blankets. And you think of like, what does a blanket mean to us, especially if it's wool? So I was telling Aley that my family had a camp generation on Lake Champlain. It started as like off-grid type stuff, and then it slowly grew into something that could be lived in year-round. There's like this progression, but it's like in the history of all of that was the wool blanket, the scratchy wool blanket that would never go away because it lasted forever.
It does.
Yeah, so it's got that like old feel to it, like in the past. But knowing that sometimes in the past they really knew how to make things last, like the hardiness of it. And they're talking about like a weaving story, how like and they're showing like not only the weaving that tells the story, but it's just like who they place it on. They're bringing in like the Native American feeling of like the stories of the beads, the stories of the feathers. Some people might say, oh, what a beautiful thing that you're wearing. But that's the history, the story of the people. They're kind of saying, like, don't cast that blanket aside. But they are saying, like, something that's dusty does need to be, don't throw it away. But you also don't want to something dusty, something old. So it's like, you don't need to wear this thing from the past. Put it in a nice hope chest, the cedar chest, to preserve the story, but you don't want something that's scratchy and dusty on you. Because you'll just be constantly like sneezing and just being in the physicalness of it. It would have an effect on you. And they're talking about the cleansing of the skin. They can say, like, once you take it off, you can go ahead and do, like, I feel like my grandparents are helping me. They're bringing in, like, Irish spring soap, which is like the soap you use in the river when you're bathing in the river because it floats. I think that's what that story is. You can, like, wash your skin, but it's a part of your story. You can take it off, you can bathe it. And they're showing me like the miners and how they would use the filter in the water or the pan in the water to find the gems and the jewels. And they're saying with all of this dust and all of like the collective dust from whatever, it's just like, what if we could take those things from the past, if we could wash them in water and just find what the true gems are? What are the little nuggets of gold, the little nuggets of rubies and whatnot? What if we could do that and just take the gems, but we could put the things that aren't good for us aside?
Beautiful.
Yeah.
All I got was a green army blanket, and it really is itchy. Thank you. I have the word resilience for you, Janet. Determination, strength, and character. And much like the blanket that never really goes away because it's so sturdily made.
Yeah.
But there you go. Yeah. Thank you very much. All right. Thank you, everybody, for being here.
Deb B says, yes. The old wool reminds me of a sweater my aunt put on me to wear to school. It made me ill to my stomach.
Not only that, but it's like you get wool stuff for school starting, and you put it on because it's so cool, and you wear it, and it's the hottest day of the year because it's not quite summer's not quite over yet.
Yes, I have done that many a time.
I understand. I understand. All right. Well, JJ, thank you, darling. I really had a nice time. We'll be back again. We try to get together on every double number. So 7, 7, 8, 8, 9, 9, 10, 10, whatever. And in the meantime, much love to you all. Thank you all for being here. Thank you, JJ, for bringing Tuda through. Love everybody.
Bye.
Bye-bye.